This is a typical kitchen in Guatemala, which is also a common sight throughout the world where wood is used as their primary source of fuel. The cooking is done on an open fire on the ground on what is called a three-stone fire. Tortillas, beans, and tamales are commonly cooked on this fire, while children play, sleep, and warm themselves by it. There is no chimney and no ventilation in these kitchens other than the gaps in the ceiling or walls. Needless to say, the living environment is smoke-filled. Large amounts of firewood are daily brought in on the backs of the family members, many times from great distances. This is the way cooking has been done for centuries, and the way it continues to be done today. In the 80s, help began bringing teams of medical volunteers to Guatemala to address the many health needs. Doctors began noticing a pattern of burn victims, respiratory problems, and smoke-related eye complications caused by open fires within the kitchens where the women work.
Okay, we're in the HELPS clinic and I have a medical team, and this young boy here is just being treated for a burn. He is an epileptic and he fell into the open three-stone fire in his home. This is a classic example of one of the common kinds of injuries that we're trying to prevent by having our HELP stove put into homes, keeping the fire off the floor and preventing these kind of injuries.
Burns are not the only health hazard of three-stone fires. Doña Rosa is a woman who has worked all her life over an open fire cooking for her family. Doña Rosa has a severe respiratory problem, probably caused or made more acute by working over and living by an open fire all her life. For 3 meals a day, every day, many Guatemalan women like Doña Rosa breathe a steady intake of smoke. Daily smoke inhalation begins as an infant and for women continues throughout their entire life. Cooking on an open fire means using wood for fuel. Finding firewood in many areas of Guatemala is becoming more and more difficult. The price of firewood rises as it becomes more scarce, further marginalizing the already poor. Ultimately, the effects on the environment due to deforestation are devastating.
So the goal of the project became clear that we wanted to have a stove that was not just a box that held the fire, but we wanted to have a well-designed, efficient stove that would cut down the wood consumption, a chimney that would get the smoke out of the house, cut down the respiratory problems, and of course get it up off the floor where the kids would not fall into the fire and cause these serious burns that we were seeing. And we set about to design such a stove.
Me levanto más tarde.
I get up later, an hour later. You should have seen how it was. The fire would go out and I'd have to restart it. It was so difficult, but now I get done with my housework early. In my free time, I make placemats or embroider. I'm able to do this because now I have more time. Before I didn't.
The help stove's ability to quickly heat up the stove top means that the wood is burning efficiently. And if the wood is burning more efficiently, then firewood is being saved.
What I like about the stove is that we use less firewood and it is not so hot inside the kitchen.
In addition to saving firewood, if the wood is burning more efficiently in the help stove, then there is less smoke. Smoke is wasted energy.
What I like is that it doesn't make smoke and that I save on firewood. Before, the smoke was inside. Now it goes outside.
I, with the help of Helps International, did this stove project. And basically it was kind of a process of elimination. Peace Corps had done all kinds of different types of stoves, and we'd found some kind of faults. Either they were too hard to assemble, too difficult for assembly, and we're doing a kind of a mass project here with 78 stoves. So I wanted something that would always be a uniform product, always be something that, you know, would work right every time. And so the other stoves that we had done seemed like they'd be a little too complicated for the people to put together by themselves. But this one is kind of a slam dunk. We came in and we showed people how to do it, and like I said, the people know how to put it together by themselves, and so if they have any problems, they can take it apart, put it back together, fix everything on their own. So you put it in, show a few people how to install it, and bam, that's it. So it's a really nice stove.